Breaking news, a major shakeup at the Cleveland County Sheriff's Office. Thanks for joining us tonight on OU Nightly. I'm Bryn Mead.
And I'm Lyndon Potter. Sheriff Chris Amison pled no contest to one felony count of embezzlement and has agreed to resign from office effective immediately as part of his plea agreement.
OU Nightly reporter Leah Smith is live from the Sheriff's Office and just heard from county officials. Leah, what are they telling you?
I'm here at the Cleveland County Sheriff's Office where I just heard from officials regarding Sheriff Chris Amison resigning earlier today. This came after he was indicted on 4 charges of embezzlement. 3 of these charges were a misuse of campaign dollars, the other public funds. Now counts 1, 3, and 4 were dropped, but he pled no contest to count number 2. Under Sheriff Finley will serve as the active sheriff for now until the county commissioners can hold a meeting to figure out what the next steps for the sheriff's department are.
That's the commissioner's goal, is to continue serving the people, making sure taxpayer dollars are protected, and of course that no one is above the law, not even the sheriff.
Amison will serve a 5-year deferred sentence and will be required to pay $10,000 in restitution charges to a company of his choosing. He chose his own church, Norman Bible Church. Reporting live from the Cleveland County Sheriff's Office, Leah Smith, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Leah. The new Cleveland County Sheriff's Office headquarters is set to open near the jail next Wednesday.
Security at future public events involving President Trump is in question following the assassination attempt at the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
OU Nightly's Colson Pocock spoke to a journalist who was at the dinner. Colson, what did she tell you?
Bryn, Lyndon, Libby Dean, the White House correspondent for News Nation, gave me her reaction to the shooting as it happened. Take a look. The sound of plates and wine glasses breaking fills the room inside the White House Correspondents' Dinner after gunshots were heard outside of the ballroom in Washington, D.C. Police say Cole Thomas Allen stormed the lobby of the Washington Hilton Hotel with a shotgun, a handgun, and knives. Officials say one officer was shot in a bulletproof vest and is recovering, the shot being the noise that the crowd of 2,300 heard in the ballroom. A part of that crowd was Libby Dean, a White House correspondent for News Nation and 2022 graduate of Gaylord College.
And it all really did happen so quickly, but it was very frightening. The speaker was, of course, very close to me, and he's in the line of succession. So security hopped on him very quick, grabbed him by the shoulders, pulled him out of the room. We got knocked over a little. Luckily got right back up.
Authorities say President Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance were immediately rushed off stage, followed by members of the cabinet minutes later. The shooter was stopped by Secret Service agents on the floor above the ballroom. But Libby says that the Secret Service did their job that night.
And it's going to be played over and over, frame by frame, to figure out what Secret Service could have done better. But ultimately, they did their job. They stopped the shooter, and I'm very grateful for that.
With multiple assassination attempts on President Donald Trump, a senior official at the White House says Chief of Staff Susie Wiles will hold a meeting this week to talk about security protocol at future events with him in attendance. As for the shooter, he appeared in court today and was charged with the attempted assassination of the president. Bryn, Lyndon.
Thanks, Colson. In continuing coverage, new security concerns are being raised after this weekend shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Sutton Parker has that and the rest of today's national and international headlines from the News Center.
We begin in Washington, where the president is now insisting the White House Correspondents' Dinner be rescheduled in the next 30 days, with the third attempt on the president's life raising new security concerns for Trump allies.
We do need to look at security measures. We're going to have to reevaluate this. This is why we need the ballroom. It really is. The president's right about that. We need a facility that is secure enough to host events like this.
It's currently unclear when the Correspondents' Dinner will be rescheduled and where it'll take place. And in the aftermath of this weekend, lawmakers are now facing increased pressure from the White House to pass funding for the Department of Homeland Security.
This is a national emergency, and every member of Congress needs to put their country over party and get the Department of Homeland Security funded.
Right now, federal agents, including the Secret Service, are being paid out of a rainy day fund, and if that fund ends, agents could miss paychecks. And this afternoon, King Charles and Queen Camilla arrived in the U.S. for their 4-day state visit. They will start their trip by having tea with the President and First Lady at the White House, and tomorrow, King Charles will address a joint meeting of Congress. Leaders in the UK hope the royal visit will help ease tensions between the nations on the war in Iran. Brent Linden.
Thank you, Sutton. Lyndon, it is quite the sunny day outside, but I'm kind of wondering how long these 80s are going to last.
It's quite different than the overcast we had over the weekend, but OU Nightly student meteorologist Dylan Strucco is in studio with us right now with a look at what's to come. Dylan?
Yeah, guys, we're definitely feeling the heat out there this afternoon. You're going to see current temperatures of about 88 degrees here in Norman, but you'll notice we have this cold front that's spanning across central Oklahoma. Winds are going to shift out of the north behind that, and that is going to help fuel a little bit of a fire weather threat that we are seeing this afternoon and evening. Elevated to near critical fire weather conditions is expected tonight with those dry conditions, along with those gusty winds, along with that cold front. So we are going to be cooling down later on this week, but we do have some rain that we are going to be watching for to help bust that drought here in central Oklahoma.
Thanks, Dylan. And we'll be even taking a closer look at what took place during the Washington Correspondents' Dinner.
What the FBI director has to say about security up next.
And the disaster that struck Enid, Oklahoma.
More on the city's recovery efforts after the break.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Be right there. Wait. Use the shovel and bucket of water, remember? Drown, stir, drown, feel. Then make sure it's cool.
Where'd you learn that?
SmokeyBear.com. Brushed up on some tips before we left. Don't want to start a wildfire, right?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
No, no, no. Turn it down. Turn it off. Get a hand. Lose the bells and whistles. Drive without distractions.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Welcome back. Our newsroom learned about plans to disperse the homeless encampment behind Food and Shelter on Reed Avenue. OU Nightly reporter Jack Hancock has the details.
Well, Bryn, thank you. We're not entirely sure which government agency is in charge of this project to clear out the encampment that you can see here behind me, located on state property just next to buildings that are owned by the Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services. It's right next to the city-owned property where a permanent shelter is planned to be built.
Behind Food and Shelter on Reed Avenue, hundreds of unhoused people and tents. Our newsroom learned about the plans for the clearing out of this homeless encampment on state-owned property. Starting tomorrow, people in the area will not be allowed to return. We set out to find out who was in charge of this removal. Norman PD tells us they are just an assisting partner agency in this initiative, directing us to the Oklahoma Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services or to the Sheriff's Office. The Cleveland County Sheriff's Office says the city is the primary agency in charge. The county says they're taking an outreach-first approach. Mayor Stephen Tyler Holman tells me outreach teams have been in contact with the people living there for weeks, offering services and various housing resources with mixed results. Adding, in his eyes, this is not the correct solution. Holman's biggest concern, where should people go next?
And just moments ago, we got a statement from the Oklahoma Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services. It reads, ODMHSAS has never commissioned or operated any encampment in this area. Our priority is the safety of those receiving care at our facilities while working closely with local community partners to connect individuals in need with available services, shelter options, and behavioral resources. We'll keep you updated as we continue to follow this story and it continue develops. Bryn, Lyndon?
Thanks, Jack. A 2025 survey shows of almost 2,000 people are homeless in Oklahoma City.
The city of Enid is still picking up the pieces from the destruction of Thursday night's tornadoes. Downtown Enid posted a list of resources on Facebook for anyone who who can support the organizations. On your screen are offering free supplies and services like clothes, pet food, household items, and child daycare. If you're looking for a way to help, the Cherokee Strip Community Foundation has a disaster relief fund. And to donate materials, Mayor David Mason is asking individuals to contact any of the numbers listed in front of you.
And one of the world's largest athletic wear companies has announced a round of layoffs. Megan Howarth has that and more in today's Money Matters.
Nike announced Friday it will cut 1,400 jobs. Analysts say the company is trying to rebound after a major sales drop they say was the result of a focus on lifestyle products over performance shoes and apparel. In a statement to employees, Nike COO says the cuts will largely be in the technology department as part of the final stretch in their Win Now action plan. President Trump issued a 90-day extension on his Jones Act waiver on Friday to help move oil and gas throughout the U.S. This extension follows an initial 60-day waiver created back in March, and the White House says the extension can help energy supplies. The waiver allows ships that are not American-made to temporarily transfer merchandise between U.S. locations. The tax deadline has passed and more filers are receiving refunds this year. According to the IRS, more than 90 million filers were owed refunds. Tax refunds averaged $3,275 per filer who was owed one, which is a $333 increase from last year. Bryn, Lyndon.
Thanks, Megan. An OU superfan turned future Sooner sensation whose dreams finally came true.
A look at incoming OU baseball commit Josiah Kemp coming up.
And we have a cold front coming through. It'll drop those temperatures down this week. We are watching some rain chances all up ahead.
Water is our most precious resource and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here is a water conservation tip you can try. In the bathroom, turn off the water while you brush your teeth. You'll save about 4 gallons per minute. That comes out to about 200 gallons a week for a family of 4. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman. Water is our most precious resource and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here is a water conservation tip you can try. In the bathroom, if your shower can fill a 1-gallon bucket in less than 20 seconds, replace the shower head with a water-efficient one. They are cheap, easy to install, and can save you up to 750 gallons a month. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman.
Back to OU Nightly. We are definitely feeling the heat out there this afternoon, currently sitting at about 88 degrees here in Norman, but you'll notice areas off to our north are a bit cooler, getting down into the low 80s, even the 70s, and our northern counties as well. You'll notice we do have that cold front that's sitting right over the Oklahoma City metro area right now, slowly moving to the southeast. That's going to bring some cooler temperatures behind that. But we are also staying dry today. Our dew points are low, 30 to 40 here in central Oklahoma, getting up a little bit there. But you're going to notice very dry out there in southwestern Oklahoma. That's going to help fuel a fire weather threat that we are going to be seeing. Of course, with that cold front coming in, you're going to notice the winds are gusting out ahead of this, well up into the 20 to 30 mile per hour range, and then the winds behind that are coming out of the north. Still gusty though, bringing in that warm, dry air. And again, we're going to have that fire weather threat across central and especially southwestern Oklahoma. We're seeing elevated to near critical fire weather conditions, mainly because of those dry conditions, as well as that heat across the state. Now we're going to see that severe weather risk for tomorrow is really going to be across the southeastern portions of the state and into Arkansas, northeast Texas, northern Louisiana. And you're going to see, again, really mainly here in southeastern Oklahoma. Not going to expect much here for central Oklahoma. Timing this out for you, you're going to see storms firing along I-35, moving off to the east, and that'll be out of here as we go throughout the rest of the evening tomorrow and into Wednesday. Now, overall Wednesday, we are looking very dry. We're going to see those rain chances pick right back up, though, as we get to the later half of the week. 40% by Thursday. Widespread rain chances by Friday. We're seeing a 70% chance for there. A little bit of a chance for rain by Saturday morning as that storm system moves out of here, but overall, Thursday and Friday is the day we're going to be watching for some widespread rain. Here's your storm system for Tuesday. Again, that's going to really be off to our south and east. We're going to cool down for a couple of days here in central Oklahoma, but here comes your next storm system. We're going to see rain start to move in by Thursday, and that's going to become more widespread as we go into Friday and into Saturday morning as well. So we'll be tracking all of that. The severe weather risk is low at the moment, but of course, we will continue to watch that and have all of the details for you. Now, here's your 7-day forecast. You're going to see again that chance for rain on Tuesday into Wednesday, but overall, the rain chances really pick up by Thursday and into Friday. We have that 40 to 60% chance on Thursday, 70% chance by Friday. The temperatures will cool down and then warm back up as we go into this weekend.
Goodness, well, that Thursday rain is coming just in time, unfortunately, for the annual Calf Fry Festival.
Yeah, and it's going to come in Thursday night, especially Friday. It's going to be widespread.
Well, what do I need to prepare for that?
Bring a poncho, bring an umbrella, just prepare for the wet weather. Hope for the best, obviously, but with that chance for rain coming in, want to make sure you got it prepared.
I get you. Well, speaking of a fun time, while OU's baseball regular season has less than a month left, the team is still making moves for next season. OU Nightly's Hunter Cornejo has more.
From the moment Josiah Kemp first stepped into the batter's box, the spotlight has been on him. All offseason, he competed alongside the nation's best at Perfect Game.
I think it just gives me the validation, that I can compete with the best players in the world. I played the best players nationally everywhere on a nationally ranked team. That just proves to me that I can play this game at the next level.
Kemp grew up a Sooner fan and committed to Oklahoma in the 8th grade. The opportunity to don the crimson and cream and play for Skip Johnson means a lot.
I'm very, very blessed. God gave me the talents to be able to play the game at the highest level, and just being able to commit to an SEC school that's OU in general. I lived there my whole life. I think that's just great. I was growing up at football games. I have pictures of me and you can see the football field in the background. It's just a blessing, and I'm just glad that I get to play there in the 2026 fall.
Josiah Kemp spent many hours as a young kid in big league clubhouses with his uncle Matt, the 3-time MLB All-Star out of Midwest City. Now as he's close to achieving his own big league dreams, it's really cool to look back on those moments.
It was definitely a great experience. Sometimes it's all blurred just because I was so little. I remember when Bryce Harper won the home run derby, that was just great to, see what a clubhouse is like, see what it's like in the locker room. It's crazy to think about because it just feels like yesterday I was just in the Dodgers clubhouse swinging that bat.
It's got to be a big time plus for Josiah to have that in his corner, in his pocket, to where if he's having a bad day or whatever, he can rely on someone who's on the Hall of Fame ballot for Major League Baseball. There's a reason why he was a Hall of Fame candidate.
With one state championship already at Westmore, Kemp hopes to end his high school career with the dog pile and Choctaw's first title since 1974.
I can definitely, transfer that experience over here, bring that energy to us to where we can, eventually win a state championship this year, which I think we have a very great chance to win this.
In Choctaw, Hunter Cornejo, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Hunter. While we just told you about who's new to OU, there's a few others here on campus who are graduating to the big leagues.
Plus, Jamin, some history was broken for one diamond sport right here on campus.
Yes, OU softball had themselves quite the weekend. When we come back, I'll tell you what records were broken and by who. Up next in sports.
Winter is upon us, And every Oklahoman knows that that means unpredictable freezing temperatures. One of the main concerns with freezing temperatures is the damage they can cause to your home or business should they cause your water pipes to freeze over. Older homes, especially those without proper insulation or that have basements or crawl spaces with exposed pipes, are particularly susceptible to this. Here is Rachel Croft, City of Norman Water Treatment Plant Manager, to show you the proper steps you can take to prevent your pipes from freezing.
The good news is you don't need to run a whole lot of water in order to combat freezing from your pipes. Here's how you do it. Another thing that you can do to help is to open your cabinet drawers to make sure that warm air throughout your home is getting to your faucet pipes. But you want to make sure to remove any harmful chemicals that any small children or pets could have the ability to reach.
Following these steps can help save money on your water bill and help to conserve Norman's water supply.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
I'm Jamin Dawson, and it's time for sports. The 2026 NFL Draft concluded Saturday, and a multitude of Sooners lived out a lifelong dream of being drafted, hearing their names called by Commissioner Roger Goodell. R. Mason Thomas was the first Sooner off the board selected as the 40th overall pick to the Kansas City Chiefs, and Day 3 made history for OU with 6 players selected, the most in one day since 2005. Fabechi Wiwu, Grayson Halton, and Kendall Daniels were all selected in the 4th round, followed by Robert Spears Jennings, Jaron Kanik, and Deion Burks all selected in the 7th round. Former OU running back Jaden Ott signed with the Kansas City Chiefs after the draft and will continue to be coached by DeMarco Murray, who accepted the same position in Kansas City in February that he held at OU the past 5 seasons. OU softball's game Friday was a special night for 2 Sooners as Kendall Wells became the new record holder for single-season home runs at OU, and Ailana Agbayani was given a golden ticket by AUSL Commissioner, securing her spot in their upcoming draft. The Sooners swept the Georgia Bulldogs in their last home series of the season, and Patty Gasso says it's not a small feat.
Hard-fought 3-game series, and to sweep Georgia is a big, big notch in our belt. It's big, and I love their coaches. They're very gracious, and they're very good. They're a very good team. They're tough to beat.
Oklahoma baseball found themselves in a rubber match Sunday against number 8 Auburn. OU took an early lead to open the game, but couldn't take it back from the Tigers for the rest of the game. Auburn's bats got hot in the 3rd inning and stayed hot as OU allowed a season-high 6 home runs in the loss. Auburn wins 14-4. OU baseball's game against Texas Tech Tuesday has been canceled due to inclement weather. Skip Johnson Sooners will be back on the diamond Friday at home against number 25 Florida. The Oklahoma City Thunder have continued to dominate despite the injury of Jalen Williams, as they look poised to complete the first-round sweep against the Phoenix Suns tonight at 8:30. The Thunder will advance to round 2 with the win tonight to play the winner of the Lakers-Rockets series. Bryn, Lyndon?
Thanks, Jamin. Coming up, a special kid from Nevada is giving back.
Find out how he is helping the same organization that helped him.
Did you know that items like paint, cleaning solutions, pesticides, solvents, and other chemicals are considered household hazardous waste? These chemicals are dangerous to our environment and water quality when they are dumped in our storm drains or gutters. Fortunately, the City of Norman has a dedicated household hazardous waste facility where you can properly dispose of these items. Call 405-366-5463 to make an appointment. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater. Did you know that trash, like plastic bottles and fast food wrappers, can carry germs and bacteria? When these items are tossed in the street, they eventually find their way to a river or lake and have a negative impact on aquatic life. Keep our waters clean by putting your trash in the bin. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater. Water is our most precious resource and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here is a water conservation tip you can try. In the bathroom, turn off the water while you brush your teeth. You'll save about 4 gallons per minute. That comes out to about 200 gallons a week for a family of 4. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman. Water is our most precious resource and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here are some water conservation tips you can try. In the kitchen, collect the excess water you use to rinse produce and use it to water houseplants. Also, soak your pots and pans instead of letting the water run while you scrape them. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman.
I'm Alyssa Campbell at the OU Nightly Update Desk. Airbnb is partnering with Heartline 211 to provide free emergency housing for the Enid storm victims. The Oklahoma Department of Emergency Management says victims can call 211 to request temporary housing. Airbnb hosts are able to offer their homes for free or at discounted rates for the storm victims. Bryn, Lyndon, back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Alyssa. Now, Dylan, you mentioned the rain chance coming this week.
Yeah, absolutely. We do have some rain chances. We do have a little bit of a rain chance for Tuesday night especially, but we're watching widespread rain chances for Thursday, especially Friday as well. Those temperatures are going to stay nice and cool this week, though, behind this cold front that's moving through tonight. We are going to warm up by the end of the weekend into next week, 72 to 75 by Monday. But overall, we do have lots of rain chances coming up for this week that could help bring some drought help here in central Oklahoma.
Well, thank you. Well, take a look at this, guys. Asher Norvell, he was born at 25 weeks and weighed under 2 pounds. He spent half a year in the NICU and had a heart surgery at just 24 days old. Even though he needs tracheostomy tube to speak, he found his voice in other ways.
That's right. For his 6th grade passion project, Asher and his brother organized a 5K run to raise money for Miracle Flights, a nonprofit that flies kids who need life-changing medical care that they can't receive in their own community. It also doubles as the same nonprofit that helped him.
And we want to thank you guys for tuning into OU Nightly this semester. This is our last time at the desk all together, and the last time me and Bryn will be together as we are graduating next month.
I know, it's so bittersweet.
Yeah. Well, you guys will have a big next year, continuing with sports and weather, so you can keep up to date next year with these two, as they will be back here at the desk.
And for the last time at the desk, I'm Bryn Mead.
And I'm Lyndon Potter. Be sure to watch OU Nightly live during this final week at 4:30. Have a good night, everyone.